Hi, welcome back, my fellow green vests. So, I think a lot of us feel as though we have a certain workable knowledge of how it is we are supposed to fit these strange elf shoes that we sell in our climbing department. Guest walks in, needs help with a fit, we say, yeah, like kind of tight, maybe go down in size. I guess they can probably be uncomfortable. Uncomfortable's okay. These three have good reviews. You should try these and just see which ones you like. So it seems to me that when it comes to a rock shoe, we're settling for a inferior quality of fit than we would accept if we were doing a boot fitting or a bicycle fitting or even helping someone outfit a sleeping bag. So why? Why is it that we're settling for the basics? I think that's probably because it's a lot easier just to talk about the how of a rock shoe rather than the why of a rock shoe. If we're going to understand the reasoning behind fitting our rock shoes in this very particular way, the first thing we have to get into is the differences between our hands and our feet. Because they actually have a lot in common, but their differences are really significant. So feet are these weird things at the end of each leg. They're kind of ugly and strange, but they're actually amazing designs as they allow us to move using a pretty minimal amount of energy compared to the paws or feet or hooves of other animals. But look at how much harder it is for us to do a handstand than for us to stand on our own 2 feet. The toes of the human foot are designed to bend. So whereas creatures that run fast have claws that dig into the dirt and pull them forward, the human foot does not. The way it bends with each step doesn't allow us to run quickly, but it does reduce the amount of energy that we expend with each step, allowing us to run further. Our hands, however, don't need to have any of these features. And so, the strength of the whole hand is able to be used within the appendages with a pretty high amount of dexterity. If we're going to climb well, we need to learn to imitate this with our feet. A common comment you're going to get from guests when fitting them for a rock shoe is, man, I don't think I could walk in these. And I think this is where we need to remind them that rock shoes are more akin to clip-in cycling shoes or ice skates. We're specifically trying to distort the biomechanics of the foot. Here is an X-ray of a human foot inside of a rock shoe. What are some things that we immediately notice? Well, compared to the way the foot fits inside other shoes, there's very little internal volume. What space there is primarily taken up with the muscle and fat of the foot. Also notice that knuckling shape in the toes. These are the two features that make up a rock shoe fit. Many people, when they begin climbing, have a common misconception. They see the small holes and think they should be on the very, very tips of their fingers. But the tips of the fingers are significantly too sensitive to put our full body weight on. So even on very small holds, climbers put the pads of their fingers, which are less sensitive. Doing this, they're able to lock their hand in a position called a crimp that will allow them to pull very hard on that small surface. You'll notice when we crimp, our fingers form that same knuckled shape that we saw in that X-ray of the inside of the rock climbing shoe. So just as we are modifying our hand placement, we're also modifying our foot placement. You may well say, okay, I get it. So really aggressive downturn bouldering shoes should have more space in the toes for knuckling. We see that when we look at those. But actually, if you were to look closely, you'd notice that most of the neutral shoes also have some additional space in the toes, allowing for that knuckled shape. Basically, if it's not a dedicated trad shoe or crack shoe, you're probably going to have an opportunity to fit it with that snug fit to give you a little bit more room for the knuckling. The other thing you may be saying is, but why does it have to be so tight? And this is what's going to be called tubular construction, a feature you're going to see in most modern rock shoes. Let's make this visual. Let's use the hands one more time. So, fingers spread apart. They bend very easily. Put them together. They resist bending a lot more. So when you are going up to that hole to put that foot on that small surface and you want it to stay there, it very well may be that that mild discomfort you're feeling while wearing that rock shoe is allowing you to climb harder. Does everyone need to have a shoe that's making them unhappy? No, probably not. But a little mild discomfort is not a reason to assume that a shoe fits poorly. So we will be doing a part 2. We're going to go a little bit more into how to select a rock shoe, some of the stuff that we've probably learned about in our stores in the past. I'm going to go into a little bit more depth. In any case, this is the end of today's mini clinic, and I hope to see you guys again soon.